Jesus being crucified, show me the historic evidence.
Okay, here's the evidence. Scholars across the spectrum, John Dominic Crossan, Bart Ehrman, Gerd Luhmann, and Paula Fredrickson all regard the crucifixion as a historically certain event. Luhmann even says Jesus' death as a consequence of crucifixion is indisputable. As for the proof itself, we have Tacitus in his Annals 15.44. He writes, Christus suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of Pontius Pilate. This corroborates the gospel claim that Jesus was executed under Pilate, and scripture clearly shows the very same thing in places like Luke 23:24, John 19:16, and Matthew 27:22. Furthermore, we have Thallus in and around AD 52, quoted by Julius Africanus in his work Chronography. And what does he say? On the whole world there pressed a most fearful darkness, and the rocks were rent by an earthquake. Now Thallus allegedly explains this as an eclipse, but Africanus in that very same work, Chronography, says that it is impossible for this to be an eclipse, as Passover is marked by the full moon. And what do we see? During a full moon, the moon is behind the earth in reference to the sun. But during a full solar eclipse, it is the opposite, and the moon is in front of the earth, between the earth and the sun. So this is simply not possible. But scripture fills the gap. Matthew 27:45 says, Now from the 6th hour until the 9th hour there was darkness over all the land. Matthew 27:51, the earthquake and the rocks were split. These next few are going to be pretty quick, but we have Lucian in The Passing of Peregrinus. He writes, The Christians worship a man to this day, the distinguished personage who introduced their novel rites and was crucified on that account. Felgon writes in his Chronicles, the 4th year of the 202nd Olympiad, which is commonly dated to around AD 30 to 33, there was the greatest eclipse of the sun, and an earthquake in Bithynia overthrew many buildings. Now, scripture matches this perfectly. Again, Luke 23 says there was darkness over all the earth, and the sun was darkened. Matthew 27, the earth quaked, and the rocks were split. Now, after this, we have Pentecost, and the Greek word Pentecoste literally means 50th. It was 50 days after Passover. And what does Peter write in Acts 2:32? This Jesus God has raised up, of which we are all witnesses.